Down at the garage again, second time around. Third time around, actually. I've taken all the yellow lines down the side off, as you can see. Taken some of the paint. That's no good, is it? So, I'm not sure what's below that, whether it's a primer or a previous color. I doubt this car was that color originally. One assumes it's a primer of some sort. So that was on that side. And then if you look on this side, similar pattern. The roof, obviously, as I said, I'm going to repaint as well. So tomorrow, or the next day, I will use that line as a guide to mask. And everything above the line will be silver. That's, as they say in the olden days, it's a job for another day. That will happen tomorrow or the next day. Wednesday has been forecast to be a better day. Hopefully having silver above this line will give me something more to work with. Both the trunk and the hood, or bonnet and boot lids, will have at least, they'll be ready to be painted on. So that should be good. We'll see how that turns out. So as you know, these jobs are never small. Started one way, obviously going to end up in tears. Primer and one single coat of paint and clear over the top of that. Trying to just get everything to sort of blend so that I can either put primer over the top or paint or whatever, but to get it to smooth. Same down this way, all the way down there. I'm not going down as low as that. I'm literally going to blow paint and primer only on this line. Whatever happens below that line is not important for now. That'll be the next phase, because that'll be one color and I still haven't thought what I'm going to do. But I do want panels, roof, and on the front on the hood. So my next job now will be to run a bit of masking tape around the edge of this window seal, maybe an edge there, and then just to do this. This is so rough and then I've got to quickly prep this side. I have an old caravan cover that I'm going to throw over this because the weather has changed. We suddenly have a bit of spitting, not rain, just enough to upset me and the neighbor. He's mixing concrete and building a pergola outside. So yeah, for the moment, next job, mask this up, put the DA over that, and then come around this side and quickly do the side prep. And then tomorrow, hopefully we'll have enough heat to get some primer and paint on. Well, I guess the rain stopped play today, but the result we have is getting this car in, along with the C10 cab at the back there. So yeah, at least we can lock it in tonight. Tomorrow I'll start again. Hopefully it'll be dry. I'm just really pissed that we got rained out, because obviously You have all of this down the side here. But I can carry on with this tomorrow and fix that. Massive sections of paint just flaked off. But that's okay, all of this can be fixed. Just the rain messes with me. But yeah, from this point, semi over and out, I guess, for tonight. Back tomorrow. Where the forecast is suggesting. Poor neighbour is mixing concrete in this rain as well. No fun. Right, we're back on day 2. Rabbit hole? More like Kimberley's hole. That's Kimberley in South Africa. Day 2, prep, getting silver onto the car, redoing the roof, and actually decided to do the whole of the sort of the waistline up. First thing is to get the car out the garage. Right, we have the car out the garage. That's a good start. Now, get the compressor going and carry on with what I started yesterday. Sanding and prepping all of the damaged paint, getting it so that it'll actually blend once the new color goes on over the top. I'm using a DA with 240, which might be a bit rough for some people, but there's a lot of clear lacquer here that's dead all over the car. So that's part 1, is getting all of that sanded back. When I mask, I'll be masking probably up to about here. That's the line I want. The top of that is the line I want. I don't know if you can actually see this in the video. Maybe I'm not recording. Let's see what the camera sees. Yeah, you can see it. Good. Right, so above this line for today will be silver, and then I can start working on the patterns and stuff that's going on to various parts of it. Below, you can see there's damage there. This I'll prep some other time. The complexity of these moldings, which I'm not taking off, means that I'm going to have to just do a bit of thinking and clever boxing there. But yeah, carry on the other side. That's where I finished yesterday when the rain came in. This doesn't feel right, so I'll do a bit more here. It's funny, when you come back the second day, you pick up more flaws. But for now, do the other side, just give it a second pass, then do the bonnet, the boot lid, which is really, really rough. The paint on here everywhere, the clear is dead, and it's coarse as hell. It's like it's probably like a, I don't know, like a 180 grit. I see the neighbours are getting oil delivery. With this war going on, everything has just gone up stupid. I'm on natural gas, so I use cylinder gases for my heating, but most of the houses here use oil. And this war has really kicked put the cat amongst the pigeons for people who budget and plan according to their incomes, and suddenly the costs have gone significantly higher. Even gas. This is petrol, my other car is diesel. Diesel has gone up by around about 20p, I think, a litre, somewhere around there, not far off. So I saw yesterday it's £1.61.9 a litre of diesel. So they've pushed it right, my local service stations pushed it right to the limit where people are getting investigated, so they are making sure they get as much money out of this as possible. But back to work, let's carry on with this thing. I'm going to put this on time lapse again. I find time lapse saves a lot of money, and saves a lot of time and noise. Quickly see if I can get the badges off the doors. This rabbit hole has suddenly gotten very deep very quickly. Same on the other side. Well, that was typical. First one came off really easy, left almost no residue. Second one, you can see the badge is all torn up the back, so 3/4 of that automotive double-sided tape is still stuck on the door, so that's another 5 minutes or 10 minutes to try and clean off now. But we'll carry on down this little rabbit hole. 4:10, and the afternoon temperature today, because the sun only came out about 11:30. Sun today, so you're looking at what, 13, or I suppose about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm talking shit. 55 Fahrenheit, about 13 Celsius. I've now sanded down all of and keyed and cut down to where all the paint was damaged and torn. This trunk lid has very little paint in the first place. Bumper, this might hold some surprises because there's some plastic exposed on that corner right at the end. I'm not sure if I should prime it up with some plastic primer or just go for it and paint. But I've started masking because, for instance, underneath the wheel arches I don't want paint there. So I'm trying to sort of just do the worst of the masking, that the kind of thing that happens when you paint, because the pressure pushes the paint in. So I've done that. Hopefully that'll be enough to capture. And similarly around the back, I've kind of done that. I've sanded down the roof again. Tomorrow it'll get another coat. And I've taken all the edges off where I was supposed to have feathered in the previous coat that corrected that bloom. I've not wiped the car down, I've just blown it. But I'm now going to carry on and mask all of these little edges so that tomorrow I can just use the draping plastics down the bottom for a start. I might even use cardboard paper down there. I've got a roll of brown paper, so I might tape in some paper down there if I've got masking tape on those edges, which is an easier way to work, I think. The glass, obviously, all of that, I'll be masking it now, and then I can lay a coat or a cover over it. I'm going to carry on. Where did I end? Here, on the inside of this door. There, you can see I've masked in there as well so that the original colour is protected. Once the silver gets blown, I've still got to do the front wheel arch. The same with this. I'm going to go all the way up on the inside here. I'll leave that first, whatever that is, 1/4 of an inch, will take colour. And then this I'm actually going to mask, so that the original colour, which is darker, once you look down these panel gaps, you won't see kind of the stop and the start of the silver as much. Grille, top of the bumper, and everything on top of the rubbing strips is getting painted. I really want to change this front grille and headlights to the more modern egg crate shape, but where to find someone who's going to find me a set, first of all, that's decent at a sensible price, and then I've got to get it to the UK. Down the side as well, same thing. I still have to do all of the masking inside of the doors, door shuts, wheel arches, etc. And then once again, going all the way around the top here, I'll mask all of that in so that once I start spraying and blowing, and same down here, that'll be my masking line. Mask up the lights, leave this grille open, closing bits of chrome so that just the plastic grille gets the paint. I did contemplate disassembling it, and I'm still thinking about it, but I probably won't. I might. That's probably a yes. We'll see. And then all the way around here, I've not done the mirrors. This one's casing is smashed. So once again, what I'll do is I'll use fine line tape and just mask the edges of this. These I'm going to make black, because black tends to disappear in the background. You see how the paint just peeled off here when I was cleaning up yesterday. That's literally a razor blade just scraping it off. I'll get to these window frames at some point when I am in the mood. And then the bonnet, a few stone chips that I had to go right down to. I don't know if it's the original primer or not. And those marks that you see there is just the dust from blowing the worst off. I'll obviously do all the cleaning and tidying up, wiping down before I paint. couple of little marks that I went back to, just sanded them down. These tape marks were visible after I put the paint down, so I think an improvement on that as well, all around the back. You can see there, somebody who painted this, that's their handprint. Can you see the fingerprint style of, probably can't see it. Let's see if we come up higher. But there's basically a palm print, back of a print where somebody probably pushed down on it either before they painted or even after they painted and damaged that. Hopefully that'll get covered over. Yeah, as for the rest, it's a massive rabbit hole. Thanks, Paul. Paul has been laughing up his sleeve all day. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to carry on now. It's, as I say, it's about 4:15, 10:04, 4:15, somewhere around there. Tuesday. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get some paint all over the top, everything above that line. Obviously, make it all silver, and then we can start painting designs or whatever. What's below, I'm going to be finding some color that I like that blends with the rest of what goes on there eventually. And then the bottom will be essentially a solid base. I might add some detail in, but I'm not sure. So yeah, thanks for watching so far. More fun and games in the offing. Right, we've got edge primer there. There's a few places where I've gone through onto the metal, so I've just done a very rough masking, and I'm going to quickly just blow over some edge primer down the side here, that edge and around the back. Let me go to the other side. that is that. Just leave it to dry, carry on masking and do the wipe down. Wait for the temperature to go up a bit more. At the moment it's 13 degrees Celsius outside. Obviously this will be cold. Out there will be warm. I'm contemplating moving the car forward a bit more into the sun. That might be a plan before I mask. Well, today's failed, actually. It is now 10 to 2 in the afternoon, and the temperature here in the shade is still 13 degrees Celsius. All of the masking, all the intricacies have taken a lot longer than I thought it would. Anyway, having spoken with Dennis earlier on, he suggested that I just cover this plastic with bits of damage with a bit of acrylic primer, so a bit of that today. Probably more than a bit. Right now, I'm frustrated. There you go. Leave that alone. That's the only painting that'll get done today, other than the etch primer that I put on earlier on. I will leave this to dry, and then I'm going to cover the car up overnight. I think that's the most sensible thing to do. Put a cover over it, so I don't want to drive and move it now. The space in the garage is just a bit tight, and I really can't be bothered damaging it somehow, or anything else in the garage for that matter, through lack of visibility. I'll show you what it looks like in a moment. Take a walk around. Right, quick walk around. This morning I used etch primer on the edges where was exposed. See some of the dark spots just down the side around the rear. That's where the paint was really badly flaked. And then this afternoon I just put some acrylic primer on the back of the bumper where the clear was coming off, and then I also went through some of the paint right onto the plastic. So that was Dennis's suggestion that I put some primer on there. The car's masked to the best of my ability. I've decided to paint the door handles as well. I've masked the inside of the fuel filler. All of this is sort of not too bad. I'll wrap the tyres once I start the compressor up to paint. I've also done it in such a way that I can completely open up the driver's door to move this vehicle about. It's a pain in the ass, but hopefully all of this masking will help. Anyway, I'm slightly frustrated because I really would have liked to have put some paint on the car today. The roof is good. All of this masking, I hope, will pay off. I've even masked into the engine bay so that whatever blow out, blow by, blow over, blow in happens, it won't actually blow paint into the engine bay, which always looks scruffy if you get blow over or overspray. It's something I've always hated. But yeah, this is where I'm at. Stopped play for the day, and it's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But you can see half the car is in the sun, half the car is not in the sun, and I need that temperature because it's just not warm enough right now. So yeah, that's the end of my game for the day. I guess I can go and visit Mickey. Beautiful day out, but just not warm enough. So back tomorrow. Fingers crossed and a prayer. And I'll put an old caravan cover over the car tonight. I'm not going to move it. I'll just leave it on the driveway, and hopefully the caravan cover will stop condensation from wetting up the masking tape and turning that into a mess as well, because I don't need that shit. You can see the wind's been rubbish, so painting in this breeze wouldn't have done me any good either, because you end up with half the paint behind your ear holes.